Alright, hell yeah. So what we have here is some R1 raft footage. What we're looking at is me just getting rotated out of a wave. You know what I mean? So we're going to take a look at that again. And what we're going to see is how I can stay on top of this wave. Now this wave's real small, and it's real glassy right in the middle. So we're going to kind of pause and see what's going on. Now, one, I'm coming in real shallow, you know what I mean? I should be facing the wave if I just want to surf over, but I like coming in steeper because maybe I can go sideways and be sideways on the pile and then maybe side surf over to this. And then once I'm over into this little sticky part, then I can turn the boat. But right here, the glassy part's right here, the front of the boat just instantly gets turned. And then, but then, hey, look at my body. I tried a low side, which is an improvement kind of from last time to be like, hey, I need to aggressively low side. Usually I'm trying to surf kind of at bigger flows and stuff, so I'm always trying to high side. But in this case, this wave's so small, so when I kind of notice that I'm getting kicked out, I have a tendency to kind of lean that way. Now, usually you see this all the time in rafters. They're leaning as they're getting kicked out, and it's just too late. So what we're going to look at is kind of what I can do, and so here we go. So as I come in, and I would really have to anticipate this like a move, but I know my front of my boat's going to hit and purl and get swung, and it's going to start a rotation of the boat. So the best place to low side is actually towards the back of the boat. And even like right here, I'm probably taking a forward paddle stroke because I kind of know I want to keep the boat in. Well, I think at some point you got to give up, and I'm hoping that I can actually get my blade in on my hip and then pry the boat into a spin. You know what I mean? So on this right side, get the blade in, pry against the boat, pry against that pile, and then get the boat to rotate. Now, there's not much because this thing gets bucked up real fast. So then kind of the next plan of action, though, is to not just lean to the left. See how the boat's already sideways and it's already kind of in this churning water. Now, I think I just really want to let the boat spin, let the nose of the boat spin, but the back kind of hasn't moved at all. So I think the play is to jump to the back of the boat and even try to get a paddle into this pile over here if I was able to. I mean, if my life depended on it and I had to stay on this wave in this scenario, that's exactly what I would do. I would jump to the back of the boat, get my paddle into this pile, and that would help, spin the boat around. And if my body was right here, hell yeah. This pile is a teeter-totter, you know what I mean? So if you are on this side of the teeter-totter, you can low side the boat back in. But just lean into the side, that ain't going to do it. But the other element of jumping to the back of the boat, and I'll show that in a second, because if I jump to the back of the boat right here, what's going to happen? The second I push off with my feet on the front of the boat and jump to the back, the center of the mass of the boat doesn't change. So when I jump to the back, the boat actually slides forward. So that also isn't, you kind of want to do a scenario where you can actually jump to the back and grab some of this pile. In R1 surfing or OC1 surfing, I've been watching some videos, this pile is king. If you can get a paddle on it, you know what I mean, there you go. So the other clip we're going to look at, went too far, is right here. So I establish a surf in the wave, same thing, the right side of my boat gets kicked out. We'll at least watch it through once. I'm really bad at not letting you watch anything. Holy Toledo. But yeah, so I get kicked to the right, and I kind of get kicked, I kind of turn, I get sideways, and I kind of want to turn back, but then kind of have to give up on it. So that's what we're going to look at. So the scenario is, hey, my boat hits, and it turns to the right. And I think at some point, so right here, I took a big forward stroke. You know what I mean? So I would give up on that forward stroke, get my paddle at my hip, and then pry the back of the boat in. Because this is pure rotation. The second this hits, boat's going to rotate, and then I can rotate the back of the boat back in. And if you do that fast, see right here, this is no man's land. Unless you got like a real big pile and you can side surf. But on a small wave, hell no. Name of the game is like a dog bone. The front goes in, the back goes in. And right here, it just hits a stopper. You know what I mean? And so I need the back of the boat to get driven into there, and then it's past the teeter-totter. So again, the pile is the teeter-totter. Even if you can get the back of the boat over, that really helps getting weight back into the wave. And then I can even do a slight weight shift. So again, same scenario. Whoa. So let's look at this. Same scenario. I can try for a pry off my hip. So on that side, that instead of doing a forward stroke, try to pry the back of the boat in. And but if I'm not able to do that, jump to the back of the boat, because even there, like getting to the side of the boat and low siding on the side pinches that wave. And so like right here, I tried to at least like go to the side of the boat, and that kind of catches, it pearls this part of the boat. Instead of jumping to the back, I think spinning, getting the boat to spin, jumping to the back would be the ideal scenario. And so that's it. Those are the 2 clips. It's just something that, hey, I can watch myself and get better, or go out onto the wave and go practice. The river is totally frozen over, but hopefully we'll get out next week. Okay, so right here, look at this steep angle, and if I get my body just to the back, hell yeah. And if I jump to, like right now, sideways, I just thought of this. If I jump to the back of the boat when the boat's sideways, then it's not like shifting the center of mass downriver, you know what I mean? Like I said before, it'll just the boat will kind of go forwards instead of down, or so that would be perfect. And if I get my weight up here, look at all this that's rotating and then driving back into the trough, and then I could probably stick that into a rotation. All right, that's it. I don't know if you want to watch this one more time, but yeah, this time this sideways really bites and then just gets kicked out. So that's no man's land. All right, so that's some R1 Raft, checking it out. Hopefully I can get better, and thanks for joining me.